This is a video I have wanted to make for quite a while, and I was recently inspired to do so by a Jehovah's Witness whom I was debating with. Though I don't believe that Charles Taze Russell was a Freemason, and I can make a video another time explaining why I don't believe that, I'm not going to get into it here. I do believe that in many ways the Watchtower Society resembles a secret society. Many people believe that secret societies are called secret societies because they keep their membership a secret, and in some cases this is true, especially in places where those societies are outlawed. However, the Freemasons are considered a secret society, and though they don't necessarily give membership lists or anything of that nature, it is not necessary to keep your membership a secret. I mean, you can see stickers and license plates and things like that with people very proud to be Freemasons. However, what you see is a pyramid set up as far as knowledge is concerned. The secret societies began to preserve and protect knowledge. Those who are in the society are worthy of that knowledge. Those outside of the society are not. Those outside of the society are the vulgar, or the barbarians, or the goyim, or the profane, or some similar term. With Jehovah's Witnesses, you have those in the truth, and you have those who are worldly. Worldly is simply another way of saying the vulgar or the profane or one of those types of terms. Now, do the Jehovah's Witnesses have different layers of knowledge? Do they have a pyramid structure? Yes, they do. It's not as extreme as in a secret society, and that's why I say that I'm not calling them a secret society, I'm simply showing how they could be compared to one. You have the knowledge that those in the organization know, and the knowledge that those outside of the organization are not entitled to. And I'll get more into that in a few minutes. Within the organization, you have the standard members, the brothers and sisters. You have the elders, who have their own book. This book is not available to those beneath them. Now, the Jehovah's Witnesses do not necessarily see elders as above them in terms of better than them or anything like that. They still call them brothers. But they are seen as the shepherds. In fact, the book that they have is called Pay Attention to the Flock. I don't think that there's any information in the book that isn't available to the others in the congregation. My understanding is that it's a collection of different Watchtower articles, Awake articles, things of that sort. However, as the person I was debating with was quick to point out, context is important. By choosing very specific articles and putting them in this book in a specific order and in a specific collection, it emphasizes which things are important to these elders, which things are important to the higher-ups to watch for. Now, if there was absolutely nothing secretive about this book, there would be no reason why the normal brothers and sisters couldn't get copies of it. We are allowed to get law books without being lawyers or judges. We are allowed to understand fully what our rights are and how we'll be judged and all of that sort of thing. So there's no reason for this book to be kept a secret at all. So though the knowledge in that book is not necessarily a secret as it's been published in different articles, the normal brothers and sisters don't necessarily know what articles are in there. They wouldn't be able to go through a bunch of Watchtower back issues and pick those articles out. They wouldn't even know what articles are in there to begin with. So at least to a degree, that's secret knowledge. And then you do have people above them, circuit overseers, and so on and so forth, up until you get to the governing body, which is made up of only 12 people. To my knowledge, when the governing body gets together, the minutes of their meeting are not recorded or kept public. I may be wrong, feel free to correct me if I am. But as far as I know, their discussions and how they decide things are kept secret. That is the top of the pyramid. These 12 men are believed to be God's channel of communication that God communicates with. They make all the decisions and they are not to be questioned. Now, how is knowledge kept secret from those outside the organization and possibly from those lower down on the pyramid as well? The Jehovah's Witnesses believe in something called Theocratic War Strategy. It's very similar to what some secret societies teach, which is that the truth, or knowledge, is only for those who deserve it. Just as the secret societies preserve this knowledge from those who don't deserve it, who are not worthy of it, so too Theocratic War Strategy protects the knowledge and the teachings of the Jehovah's Witnesses from the profane who would profane it. From the Watchtower, June 1st, 1960. As a soldier of Christ, he is in theocratic warfare, and he must exercise added caution when dealing with God's foes. Thus the Scriptures show that for the purpose of protecting the interests of God's cause, it is proper to hide the truth from God's enemies. This is why, when a Jehovah's Witness debates with me and they make a statement, I don't believe them. If I don't see evidence from their own publications that state their claim, I assume that they are lying, because they are allowed to do so. From the Watchtower, May 1st, 1957. In the time of spiritual warfare, it is proper to misdirect the enemy by hiding the truth. It is done unselfishly. It does not harm anyone. On the contrary, it does much good. Today, God's servants are engaged in a warfare, a spiritual theocratic warfare, a warfare ordered by God against wicked spirit forces and against false teachings. At all times, they must be very careful not to divulge any information to the enemy that he could use to hamper the preaching work. This is why, when a Jehovah's Witness comes on to one of my videos and tells me that what I'm saying isn't true, I know that the reason that they're doing it is because they know that the knowledge that I'm giving can and will hamper their preaching work. Since he's in spiritual warfare with me, it is right and proper for him to misdirect me, his enemy, by hiding the truth. From Insight on the Scriptures, Volume 2, pages 244 to 245, you will see the entry called Lie. When it explains what a lie is, it mentions, while malicious lying is definitely condemned in the Bible, this does not mean that a person is under obligation to divulge truthful information to people who are not entitled to it. In most circumstances, Theocratic War Strategy states that all they're saying is that you don't have to divulge truth to someone who doesn't deserve it, but you can simply keep silent. For example, the Watchtower of May 1st, 1957 mentions, and of course there is no occasion for use of war strategy when dealing with our Christian brothers. In dealing with them we tell the truth or tactfully remind them that what they seek to know does not concern them. Now, if theocratic war strategy is simply keeping the truth from someone, then why does it say there's no occasion to use it with one of your Christian brothers? You simply tell them that what they need to know doesn't concern them. Obviously, theocratic war strategy involves more than simply withholding the truth. In Aid to Bible Understanding, on pages 1060 to 1061, we get a definition of lie again. In this definition of lie, it says, lying generally involves saying something false to a person who is entitled to know the truth, and doing so with the intent to deceive or injure him or another person. Pay attention to this. It generally involves saying something false to a person who is entitled to know the truth. If you are not entitled to know the truth, then saying something false to you is not a lie. This is why I believe that the governing body is okay with lying to their people. They're using theocratic war strategy. Their members are not entitled to know the truth. Knowing the truth would hamper their mission. The same entry says, evidently the course of Abraham, Isaac, Rahab, and Elisha in misdirecting or withholding full facts from non-worshippers of Jehovah must be viewed in the same light. And that light it's referring to in context is not giving direct answers to questions when doing so could have brought unnecessary harm. Keep in mind, to them, unnecessary harm doesn't have to just mean someone is going to die or be hurt physically. They mean unnecessary harm to their organization. So they're saying right here that you may give not just withholding information, but you may give misdirecting information. It goes on to say immediately afterwards, Jehovah God allows an operation of error to go to persons who prefer falsehood, that they may get to believing the lie rather than the good news about Jesus Christ. Once again, it says right here, God allows an operation of error. It allows them to misdirect you if they feel that you prefer falsehood rather than hearing the good news.